Hello and welcome back to this week's video, and in this week's video we are going to be reviewing this Wakooshi Outworld, and it is an absolutely awesome Outworld and I'd highly recommend it to anyone who's looking to get an Outworld. It's nice and cheap, and this is the S4 Outworld from Wakooshi. The link will be down in our description if you'd like to buy it, but definitely check out Wakooshi. They've got amazing nests, they've got amazing Outworlds, they even sell ants. It's a really good way to start into the ant keeping hobby. So let's get into the video and we'll start to show you how you make it and how easy it is, and show you a bit around the nest. So as you can see, the Outworld comes with all protected casing on all of the pieces of acrylic, so the acrylic will not get scratched. So the first job we have to do is take off all the acrylic pieces, and then when we took off all the acrylic pieces we have to get to the first step. So as you can see here, there's a load of bits in this bag, and it might look overwhelming if you've not built one of these Outworlds before, but it comes along really nicely. It's not hard, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes maximum, and it's nice and easy. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to get this a piece of acrylic and we're going to connect it up to this other piece of 3D printed material. So as you can see, you need 3 screws for this piece, and there's 3 different holes. All you have to do is screw in all the 3 holes and job's gone. There you've got your first lid. You don't really have to do this first, it's not in the instructions that they give you first, but I just remember this from the last Outworld we built, so we did this one first and then we'll get on to the second step. So what you need to do, you need to get the little connector as you can see here, but the acrylic won't be on it, so you need to take off the plastic wrap, screw the acrylic down, and then you've got your little connector to your Outworld. So then for your next step, you need to get the acrylic with the little square cut out at the bottom of it, and then you need to find the little piece that fits it. As you can see here, you can see what the piece looks like, so it's nice and easy. Then all you have to do, you put the screws through it, but you can't screw them into anything because there's no threads to screw it into. So you have to get the little connector box that you just had and put the acrylic on. You have to put it on to it, and that's what you screw the screws into. Then it stays nice and tight, and that is the next step. So then you won't get one of the joints with the 3 dots, 2 on the sides and then 1 on the front, and then you need to screw 4 of them onto the piece that you just put that acrylic box onto, as you can see now. So you screw them all on and you have the curved bit facing the middle. So as you can see now, there is all 4 of the joints on. So then after you've done them 4 joints on that piece, you find the other square piece that's the same size as that, and you put them 4 joints on that one as well. As you can see, so there's now got 4 joints on each one of them. So then let's move on to the next step. So for the next step, you want to grab one of these long pieces, as you can see here, and you want to line up the dots on the joints that are on the flat square pieces. So you have to line it up, and then you put screws straight through, screw them in nice and tight, and then you have to do it on the other piece, which I'll show you now. So then you have to grab the other long piece that's identical to the other long piece that you just screwed on the other piece, and then you have to get the other square one with the joints on, line it up with the dots again and screw it in nice and tight. And then when you have done that, they should fit together nice and perfectly and make a square. So when you put them together and it fits nice and perfectly, you need to screw them together. So you line it up as you can see here, and you screw them 2 ones in there and then the other 2 on the other side, and then you've got your main box structure. So let's do that now. So as you can see here, now I've screwed them all together and I've got the main box structure, and I still need to screw 1 more in, but as you can see, this is just what it will look like. And now there you go, I've screwed the rest of them in and it's a nice solid box. So now we need to work on the bottom and the top. So first of all, let's get the bottom done. So as you can see here, there is a few holes on the side, and then you get the brackets with the 2 holes, and you screw them into each side. So there's 4 on the box, so you have to screw them in, 2 at the bottom, 2 at the top. So let's do that now. So as you can see, I've screwed in the 2 bottom ones, so let's just start off with them so I can get the bottom in. Right, so I've got the top ones in now, and then so let's start putting together the bottom floor. So as you see, that's how it's going to go. So all you have to do is line it up and screw in the 6 different holes. Right, so I just found this out, and it doesn't say this on the Wakooshi instructions that they supply you with, but there are these little circle things on this one that are basically legs. So it lifts it up off the ground a bit, which is good if you have a heat cable and stuff and you want to heat the out mold. But as you can see, you have to do the little legs on it as well. So it keeps it up and it keeps it off the ground, and then it makes the screws nice and tight as well. So in Wakooshi don't mention this in the instructions, so make sure you don't forget that part. And it's a really good addition, I think. I think it makes it a lot better with the legs, because usually you have to go out and buy the legs separately for heat cable if you want to use a heat cable you want. So as you can see now, I just line up the top one, and this is basically the final step. I'll screw these 6 holes in, as you can see, and then we are near enough done. So let's get them 6 screws in. And wow, what an amazing out mold. It was nice and easy to build, as you've seen. There is the full nest, the lid's on and everything. Everything's screwed in. Oh, just don't drop in your lid. But there you go, the lid's on, and there is your awesome out mold, and it looks proper cool. So let's start to decorate it. So as you can see here, we have got the Wakooshi Compact Moss, and we have not used this before, so we're going to try it out. And what we've done, we've got a bowl of water, and we have also got the moss itself. So all you have to do is put the moss in the water, and it expands. I think it's 7 times its original size, so that's a lot. So we didn't need all of it for this little nest, so we used some in our European fire ants, and we also used some in our Capnotus nigrobris ants. So as you can see, it makes a lot of it, and you can see the final result there. So let's get the sand in and start decorating the rest. So I think this is called the Red Desert Sand from Wakooshi, and this sand looks absolutely awesome. It looks proper cool, especially in these outworlds. But as you see, we're going to pour it in here, spread it across evenly, not too thick, because we don't want them to be able to bury down in it and start nesting in it. Because we haven't said this yet in this video, but we are putting some yellow crazy ants in this outworld and a nest. So make sure you stay tuned for that video, because that video will be very good. And we can't wait to introduce the yellow crazy ants, and the nest that they're in. We'll also do a review on it, which I think it's the S4 Wakooshi nest, and it is an awesome nest. So stay tuned for that video. So as you can see, the outworld is completely filled with sand, and we've got some rocks left over that we got from the beach about 6 months ago. But it's really good, and we're going to decorate it with a few rocks, a bit of moss, and make it look proper good, make it so they've got somewhere to hide if they want to have a satellite nest in the outworld. So we're going to make it so they're going to be able to hide under the rocks. So this is going to be in a mink colony when it's done, but as you can see, we've got a big rock here, and these rocks, some of the rocks were too big to fit in, so we had to find some perfect rock size. So we've got some rocks to the side and everything. But these ants are going to be awesome. We are having yellow crazy ants, but it's a 5 queen colony of yellow crazy ants. So the population is going to absolutely blow up with how big. But as you see, we always put a flat rock in where it's nice and easy to access in outworld. So then you've got like a little feeding rock. So it looks more natural than having a little feeding dish. So this way we'll put the mealworms and stuff. But then we put a bit of moss on the rocks to make them look natural as well. So we just try and make them have a nice natural desert themed setup. And I think it looks really good so far. So as you can see, we're just placing in rocks, putting a bit of moss on different rocks. It will also bring a nice amount of humidity and moisture to the outworld, and it looks really cool so far. We've got some proper cool rocks, as you can see that stripy rock, it looks awesome. And we just stick a bit of moss on it to make it look natural, and it looks proper cool so far. So you've got a nice clumped corner, so they could actually hide and make a satellite nest in them rocks, to be honest. But yeah, let's pop the lid on, and there's the finished result of the outworld, and I think it looks really good. So here you can see the finished result of that outworld on a side angle, and it just looks mega. I can't believe how good it looks, to be fair. Right, so here is us connecting the nest up to the outworld, but I'll save this for the next video, because I don't want to ruin it all, and we haven't introduced the ants in here yet. So make sure you stay tuned for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next week's ant video.